I've tried not to spoil too much here, as I think you should definitely go into this movie with no knowledge of what happens within it. Of course, there's been speculation and rumours of what does happen in this movie, which you have probably heard by now, but if you can avoid all spoilers, then you definitely should. Because as people from Marvel have come out and said, there are deaths, some of which are predictable if you think about it, but others which are really shocking and upsetting, which I never saw coming at all, and took me a while just to process that it even happened. Like I said, I don't want to ruin anything, and I think it's best if you go into the film with a completely blank slate. Avengers Infinity War is the culmination of 10 years and 18 movies into this one huge event. It's safe to say that Infinity War is one of, if not is, the largest cinematic event ever. Just the sheer scale it's had to operate on to bring so many fully developed characters together into this one movie is outstanding. Now, before I saw Infinity War, I had minor niggling doubts that maybe the hype for the film is too big, and I was worried that it was going to struggle to live up to it. However, within the first 2 minutes of the movie, all of my doubt was washed away. I know that me saying this also generates more hype for the film, but it's genuinely just that good that I don't think it can be overhyped anymore. One of the main critiques about the MCU is the lack of compelling villains, with some minor exceptions such as Loki, Red Skull, and Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger in the recent Black Panther. I think you'd struggle to argue against the fact that these three are the best three villains in the MCU. However, I believe that Thanos stands alone above them. One of the main things that a villain needs is to believe that they are in the good. They have to believe that they are the good guy, because being bad just for being bad is hard to get behind. For example, Loki and Thor in the Avengers, Killmonger and Black Panther, both of them you knew had to lose because it's a superhero movie after all, but you didn't necessarily want them to lose, as they are still really compelling characters that you want to see more of. This is what is done with Thanos exceptionally well. Thanos believes he is the saviour of the universe, and you can easily see his perspective on things. One of my favourite things about him was how human they actually managed to make him seem. I know this seems like a weird statement to make about a giant purple behemoth, but it's true. The writers do an amazing job to make you genuinely see his motives for everything he does, and you can't help but like him a little. Within the first 5 minutes of the film, they show you how dangerous he really is. I won't say how, as that would be minor spoilers, but they show you how he could easily take out anyone he pleases just by defeating them in a fight, and yet he doesn't. He doesn't want to go around massacring everyone and anyone who stands in his way. In his mind, Thanos is fighting for peace, and he wants to achieve this in the most peaceful way. In this movie, Thanos has the perfect balance between this absolute monster who could destroy anything with his bare hands, and this sympathetic person who is just doing what he believes necessary. Thanos is what makes this movie so special. We've seen superhero teams up done in the past, and yes, they're always fun to watch, and yes, they also haven't been done on this scale, but a hero is only good as their villain, and with Thanos, it makes every hero in this movie the best they've ever been, because Thanos is by far the best villain. Another one of the best things about this movie is that it actually shows the contrast between a lot of the main heroes. One thing that was mentioned a lot when Doctor Strange was released is that he is basically a Tony Stark 2.0. However, in this movie, when they're standing side by side and bouncing back and forth between them, you can see the differences. You can see the strength in each character and the weaknesses there as well. The film really generates a wonderful dynamic between any characters that share the screen together. My favourite character throughout this whole movie was Spider-Man. Tom Holland captures Spider-Man perfectly, and this version of Spider-Man is everything you'd want Spider-Man to be. But to be honest, every character in this movie is amazing. No one is underused or shoehorned in, everything just works. My only criticism with this film is that some of the fight scenes are filmed very up close and with quite a shaky cam. It makes you feel more engrossed in the fighting, yes, but it can also make fight scenes hard to follow. This is only a minor problem, and it's definitely not anything that ruins the film. The fight scenes are still brilliantly choreographed and well performed, with enough variety in them to keep you entertained, which is some achievement by itself, as there are a lot of fight scenes in this film. Right, now I'm going to say, if you don't want to know anything at all, then you should stop watching here. I'm not going to spoil anything particular, but I'm going to talk very vaguely about something. I'll give you a second just to turn the video off quickly. There is a cameo in this film which blew me away. Of course you have the obligatory Stan Lee cameo, which if I'm honest isn't the best one of his cameos. I'd say that is either the Hugh Hefner one from Iron Man 1 or the Watcher one in Guardians 2. But there's this cameo in Infinity War which is just brilliant. I'm not sure what the future plans are with this character, but I'd love to see them appear more, and hopefully that is what they're hinting at with this movie. However, it did seem to suggest that they won't be able to appear in any future movies, which is slightly disappointing. but if this is all we get from the character, then it will be enough. When you'll see the film, you'll know who I'm talking about when they appear, and hopefully that you'll be as shocked as I was when I first saw it. And of course they have the end credits scene, which isn't the most exciting scene that we've had in the end credits, but it's worth viewing and it opens up nicely to the future movies. Overall, I'm extremely pleased with this film and will definitely be seeing it again by the end of the week without a doubt. It is by far the best MCU movie and I cannot wait to see what they do next. It is nothing like we've seen in the MCU so far, and I believe because of Avengers 4 coming so soon afterwards, they can leave certain things open with cliffhangers, which I'm assuming they'll wrap up in Avengers 4. And this allows this movie to take certain liberties which won't be allowed in future movies. So I believe that this movie is nothing like we've seen before and will be nothing like we see in the future, making it an essential piece of viewing if you have any kind of appreciation for any of the Marvel movies. I've been Cherry Hornet, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Infinity War and thank you very much for watching.